Hey, what's up, you guys? Sorry that I haven't posted in a while. I've actually been pretty busy with like work and like training. I actually just started working at Universal Studios, and I also got a cat recently. His name is Augustus, as in Augustus Waters, and he's really cute, but he needs attention. And so he's attacking my arm as I record this video. By now, you guys probably know that like what this video is gonna be about. But it's not just going to be about that, it's going to be about just me in general, like getting to know me and like everything about me basically, because you guys really don't know me that well. I mean, you know I'm a mess and I'm a dork, and that I like making videos with my friends and that's it. But you guys really don't know anything about me. I'm not really making this like coming out video to like gain like subscribers or get views or whatever. I'm doing it because it's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I'm actually pretty nervous to do it, and I don't know why, because I like dealt with all that like years ago. So basically I'm going to tell you more about me, my story, and if you don't like it, that's fine. I might just have to kill you. Just kidding. No, but on the real, I wanted to tell you guys my coming out story, and maybe some of you guys like are in the closet. I don't really like using that term, it's kind of like stupid to me, but like some of you guys might be thinking, oh, should I come out to my family, should I come out to my friends, and blah blah blah. I just wanted to tell you that this is basically how I did it. Since elementary school, everyone was always like, oh, is he gay, blah 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 blah, and I've always been like whatever about it, and I was just like no. And then like middle school came, and then that was just like, that's somewhere between like 8th grade and freshman year. I was just like, you know, like in my head, like, whatever. And then sometime around, like, I think it was between my freshman and sophomore year, just when people started asking me like, oh, are you gay? I basically just stopped saying no. I was just like, yeah. Stood like this first person that asked me, and I was just like, finally, I'm basically not gonna say no to anybody that asks me now and on. So I basically started telling people the truth, and I was like, whatever. And I started noticing that it was way easier to tell people like at school, because I'm just like, okay, it's high school. When I graduate, like, I'm not going to see any of you guys again. And that was fine, because like telling your friends at school and telling your family are way two different situations. And I was just testing out like, okay, maybe I should tell everyone at school and then see how that goes and how I feel, and then maybe I'll tell people like that I live with at home. So basically more and more people started asking, oh, are you gay? And I'm just like, yeah. I'm like, okay, you don't like me, then screw you. And I think that point in my life is when I became more like, I'm gonna do things for me and not anybody else. And I was just like, okay, well, screw everybody else, because this is my life and I'm gonna live it, and it's high school and I had like 3 years left, and I was just like, why not make it the best? So then my sophomore year I redid drama. My freshman year I did it, and I was just like about it, and then my sophomore year I was just like, I'm gonna take this serious. And so I did that, and it was good. My cat just knocked down my pens. Great. Thank you, Augustus. Basically, I just wanted to do drama to be more outgoing and be myself, and that's something I've always wanted to do, so I basically just went out there and I did it. I found out that I really liked it, and I was like good at it, and so I stuck to it, and then eventually went on to move into the advanced drama class where I found my little family, and that was good. And then basically jumping back to where I was before, more and more people started asking me, and then oddly enough, my best friend Jenny was actually the last person to find out, and I don't know how. So one day me and Jenny used to go to school together, and she would give me a ride home. And so we were waiting for her sister to pick us up one day, and then Jenny apparently had been hearing around school that like I was gay, because you know people run their mouth. And she asked me one day, she was just like, hey, like, are you gay? And I was just like, yeah, like nothing. Like I didn't deny it. I didn't be like, oh yeah, sorry I didn't tell you. It was just like, yeah. And she was just like, okay. And then she was quiet for like a second. Then she was like, well, why didn't you tell me? And I was just like, well, you never asked. because she technically never really did ask. She just, listened to what I was saying for the past couple of years. And then after that, our relationship really opened up more because I was able to be myself. And then I didn't really plan on telling family. I was just like, okay, everybody knows at school, that's fine. I actually got a lot more friends, and I kind of found out who like the fake people were and stopped talking to those people. But after telling Jenny, everything just like shifted in my entire life, and me became more open with like everything about myself. Then it came to the family part, and I'm pretty sure it was like my little sister found out through Jenny or somebody. I'm not blaming Jenny, but I'm just saying like she found out anyway. So she asked me, and I told her yeah, and she was just like, okay, like that's fine. And so then our relationship grew, obviously, because I was able to talk to someone from my family. And I didn't really plan on telling the rest of my family because I wasn't really close with anybody, and I was just like, whatever. One day, my little sister was in the room, and she was being a punk, and she was like, oh, like, blah, 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 this and that, like, hinting at it, and I was just like, this bitch, like, whatever. And anyway, my little sister ended up saying that I was bi, and my sister was doing my eyebrows, so I had, like, my eyes closed, and she was, like, mid-pluck, and then she stopped plucking, and she was just like, are you? And I was just like, yeah. And she was just like awkward, and she was like, okay. And then she kept plucking my eyebrows, and she was just like, how do you know? That typical question everybody asks. She was like, how do you know? And I was just like, I just do, basically. And I was just like, I'll explain it to you later, like whatever, I just didn't want to talk. After that, that was around the time I got my first boyfriend, and that was nice, and it was just like a new experience, and it was just like, okay, I don't really know if I want to do this, and I don't really know if I should, but I just took a chance and I did it, and I'm glad I did because I learned a lot from that. And from that came telling the rest of my family, because on my birthday he made me this poster. They had pictures of us on it, and it said like happy birthday, and it had like this like message and like these quotes, and it was really nice. And I took it home on my birthday, and my older sister and her boyfriend were there, and she looked at me, and I just basically like let her see the poster on purpose. And she asked me, she was just like, is that your boyfriend? And I was just like, yeah, it is. Like, and she was like, gave me a hug, and she was just like, oh, I love you. And I was just like, yeah, I knew you would, like, whatever. In my head it was like, whatever, but I mean, that's actually a really big deal. And then her and her boyfriend were like, oh yeah, that's cool, like I'm glad you told us and whatever. And then later, like forwarding into the future, I had a picture of us as the background on my phone, and my mom seen it, and I wasn't hiding it from her, I just let her see it on the counter, and she was like, oh, is that your boyfriend? And I was just like, yeah. And she was just like, oh, he's cute, like, good, and then that was it. And then basically all that was left to do was tell my dad. Basically I was just like, I don't think I ever want to like tell my dad, because we've never ever been close, so my dad's always been like a pain. But on New Year's Eve of 2013, like going into 2013, I was outside at like 4 a.m, and like my ex had told me, he was just like, oh, just tell your dad, like it's gonna be fine, basically. And I was like, okay. So I like waited to the last minute to tell him, and I was outside with my mom and my dad and like his best friend, and my mom was sitting there looking at me like, tell him already. And I was just like, oh, whatever. And my dad just like, oh, what, do you have something you want to tell me? And I was just like straight up with him, and I just looked at him, and I was just like, okay, I'm gay. And he basically gave me this hug, and he was talking to me, gave me that whole like, oh, I still love you speech that basically I'm assuming everyone ideally gets. Not everyone gets that, so I appreciated it, and that was good, because that was like the final like, whew, and like at that point everybody knew, and I was happy, and I was fine, and like my entire family knew, and like all of us got closer, ideally, like not really my dad, but like me and my sisters got closer, and like I was more myself with everybody. And like even my grandma, my dad's mom, she found out through, I don't know how, like she doesn't have a Facebook, but my aunt told me that she was talking to her, and she was just like, oh, did you know that he was gay? I saw it on Facebook. And I was sitting there thinking like, how the hell did my grandma see it on Facebook? I mean, like I didn't really care, but it was just weird, the fact that she actually like seen it on Facebook, and I'm like, okay, like good for you. it was just nice to be like open about everything. And I know some people have like hard times coming out to the family, and I'm sorry if mine wasn't like super dramatic and all that, but that's basically my story. Moving on with my life. After my first relationship ended, I started my second relationship. And I'm not one of those type of people that like to sit there and like be like, oh, my ex was terrible, blah 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 blah. No, like you were with somebody for a reason. Like don't be talking about them now because things are over. Basically, I learned a lot from the second relationship, and it was actually one of the longest. And it was like something you just go about learning, and something you just got to do. Like obviously nothing lasts forever. Like, I'm not being negative or anything, I'm just being serious. But from that I learned a lot, and like I got to do a lot of stuff that I probably wouldn't have ever done, like go to Mexico and like I don't know, San Diego and places that I've just never been. And that basically like leads me to the point I am right now in my life, and it's just like I'm doing everything that I'm doing for me. And I just recently moved out with my sister, and we're doing what's good for us. And I got a cat because I've always wanted to get one, and he's still attacking me, and he wants to be YouTube famous. So like and subscribe for Kitty. I'm gonna make him his own YouTube channel. It's gonna be Augustus TV or something more creative. Run along now, Kitty. And yeah, that's basically my story, and that's how I got to the point I am now. And honestly, I can say that I'm happy with my decision, and I'm glad I came out to my family and my friends, because it made like the rest of my high school career like more fun and more like energetic and outgoing. I was able to participate a lot more than I would have if I hadn't, and I wouldn't be as close as I am with my sisters and my entire family that I would be right now. And my dad probably wouldn't know if it wasn't for coming out, and that would have been like a whole nother mess. I don't really know what else to tell you that can describe me. I'm just really fun, and I enjoy making YouTube videos, and I plan on doing that for a little bit while, just because it's fun. I like it. I've always liked it, and this is like me finally going out there and putting my story out there. And I hope that this, for people that are still like debating whether or not telling their family or whether or not to tell their friends, honestly just go out there and do it, because like what are you hiding for? Like it's you, you're gonna do what you gotta do for you. And honestly, if you're scared of what other people think, yeah, that's just human nature. And if you wanted to, just go out there and tell them. If how they react is how they're gonna react. If they don't want anything to do with you, well then the hell with them, because it's you, it's who you are. Like, don't hide it for people, or don't listen to those things that are saying that it's bad. Like hell no, like, that's you. Go out there and do you, and be happy, because I went through it. And a lot of people, you can go on YouTube and search this forever. Like everybody's going through it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys can stay tuned, and I hope this could help anybody in any little way that it can. Or if you just enjoyed watching it just because you enjoyed watching it, that's fine. Thank you for watching. I love you guys, whoever you are. I'm not being creepy. If you're watching this video, I appreciate that you took the time to do so. And yeah, so stay tuned, because I do have a lot of free time now, so I will be posting more videos. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'm gonna say bye, and I'm gonna sign off with my cat. Say bye. I was about to tell you guys what name stood out.